in case you haven't guessed it by my subtle sip of tea there. Today we are going to be talking about the Colourpop collection Snow White. Not the whole collection. I have the palette and I have a blush. But I have to tell you, when I heard that Colourpop was coming out with this collection, I knew I had to pick up some of the products. Snow White is one of my favorite fairy tales. And I think I'm in the colors, right? Like she wore like red, yellow, and blue, right? Wasn't her dress like red, yellow, and blue, if my memory serves me correct? There's a name for that. When you're not like dressed as a character, but you're dressed in their colors. Where the hell is my friend Adam when you need him? I don't know the name of it, but I know there's a name for that. So anyway, yeah, we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at the collection. I have to tell you, Snow White has such a dear place in my heart because it was actually my late grandmother's favorite fairy tale. My grandmother Lillian, she loved that story. I remember watching the movie with her. I remember her reading me the story. And to be honest with you, she looked like Snow White. She always reminded me of Snow White because she had very, very, very pale skin. Actually, she was paler than I am. And she had like this raven dark black hair. Not brown, not dark brown, not chestnut, black. Like she had the blackest of black hair. She was so beautiful. And she really made me think of Snow White. So she always reminded me of Snow White. And it was really funny because her mother also, same, very, very, very fair skin, blackest of black hair. I took after my grandfather with my coloring. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, they looked like Snow White, and that was their favorite. That was, well, I don't know about my great-grandmother, but that was my grandmother's favorite story. So when I heard that they were coming out with this collaboration, I had to get it. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the palette. We're going to try it on. I think those are the only two products that I have that I bought from this collection. And if you're interested in the real story of Snow White, I'm going to tell it to you guys. It is a little bit different than the version that you're used to. So if you're interested, guys, stick around. Here we go. All right, guys, so let's go ahead. I'm opening it right now. Let's see what we got. I see a couple of things. Oh my God, you know what I got? I got the mirror. The magic mirror. I forgot. Make a wish and unlock the magic. I did order this. Okay, so this was part of the collection. It was a mirror, it was a lip scrub, blushes, and some lip products. Like I think they sold 2 lip kits, like lipstick and the lip liner and the palette. I believe that was the whole collection. Oh my goodness. How fun. I did get the mirror. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's so cute. It's a little small. It says, make a wish and unlock the magic. I am so happy I got this. I knew I wanted this. I'll give you some prices in a second, guys, but let's see what else I got so I know what the heck I'm working with here. I see 2 boxes that I didn't think I got. Okay, I knew I got the Dreams Come True palette. That's the eyeshadow palette. And I know I got a blush. It's the other box that's a mystery. So they came in 3 shades. The blushes came in 3 shades. I have it's a Super Shock blush. And I have the shade, I wish. Okay. So that's what I have. And I got a Super Shock highlighter. It's a Small World. I don't think, why did I buy this? Jubilant Chorus. It's a Small World Super Shock highlighter. I don't think this is part of the collection, but this was, I don't even remember ordering this, to be honest with you. Highlighter, Jubilant Chorus. Okay, I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know what what collection that was from, but the Dreams Come True palette, oh my goodness, that is so cute. Look at that packaging. Oh, wow. Beautiful. You know I'm a sucker for packaging, guys. I love it. Maggie's looking at me like I'm insane. I absolutely love it. Once upon a time, there was a princess named Snow White. She was so beautiful. And then it says her jealous stepmother wanted to destroy her life. Snow White found a tiny woodland. Oh, it's like the beginning of the story. Okay, so there it is. There's the palette. There's the color story. Color story makes perfect sense to me because it was, like I said, she wore like yellows and reds and blues. And then you have some neutrals. Of course, they always throw them in. Oh, we have some matte glitters. I think we have some matte glitters here. I'm going to read you a little bit about the palette. The packaging is absolutely gorgeous. It's that cardboard packaging I love so much from Colourpop. No mirror, but who cares? We got the magic mirror. Damn it, we don't need a mirror in this palette. Let me go ahead and read you a little bit about the collection, prices, etc., 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 etc. I must have just seen Willy Wonka on TV. Okay. Okay, the Dreams Come True Shadow Palette. 20 retails for $22. Sparkling like a diamond with 12 shades of soft neutrals, cobalt blue, and candy apple red. Oh, that's right, there was an apple in the story. Matte metallic, matte sparkle, and super shock finish. So we'll go over this shades when we swatch it out, but it's $22. Really, really beautiful packaging. We'll see how it wears. Good versus, okay, Just One Bite lip scrub. That was the lip scrub. It was shaped like an apple. I didn't get that. The Magic Spell Luxe Lipstick Kit. I never wear these products from Colourpop, these lipsticks. So there was, it looks like a Luxe gloss and a lipstick and a liner, and they did one with the Queen and they did one with Snow White. The Magic Mirror. That is so freaking cute. $14. I had to have it. I don't know if it's worth it. And then there were 3 blushes. I Wish, Just Rosy, and Fair Enough Super Shock blushes. So I have I Wish that retails for $10 and is described as blush like a princess with our cream to powder. Oh my god. Our cream to powder blush with a unique bouncy texture for glowy color all day. But highlighter, where the hell did this highlighter come from? Because I do not remember buying it. Jubilant Chorus. This is it. Super Shock highlighter. I think I just purchased a highlighter because like with the collection, but I don't think I realized it was from Disney. That it was in a Disney collab. Disney's It's a Small World. That's all it says. Okay. And this is in Champagne. Okay, I don't know. I don't remember buying this, but whatever. Alright, so guys, let's go ahead and swatch this palette out. I am super excited. We're going to swatch it out. I will go over the shades with you. And yeah, let's do it. Okay guys, so here are the first 6 shades swatched out. Starting from the wrist, we have Spellbreaker, which is a metallic, true metallic white. That swatch is really, really pretty. Then With a Smile, that's matte warm ivory, nothing special, and a little bit patchy. Ever After, this is the Super Shock. Okay, yeah, that felt like a Super Shock going on. It looks like a Super Shock. It's really, really pretty. Soft gold with a pink duochrome finish. Next to that, Such Grace, Vibrant Pastel Peach. After that, Someday, matte peachy pink. That's a really, really pretty color too. And then ending it with True Love, metallic true golds. Next 6, these are a little bit more impressive, I think. So starting at the wrist, we have My Prince metallic pinky copper. That is so beautiful. Next up is Carried Away. That's the matte glitter shade. Matte sparkle mid-tone mauve with pink and silver pinpoints. I have to say it's really, really pretty swatched out. In the Land, matte brick red. Charmed metallic bright candy apple red. Look at that. It's right there. It's so beautiful. Just One Kiss metallic vibrant cobalt blue. And then Far Away, that's another matte glitter. That's the black, true black with gold, pink, and blue pinpoints. Let's try it on. And so when I swatched it out, yeah, definitely this is the Super Shock Ever After. Feels and goes on like a Super Shock. Really, really beautiful. You could make some really nice looks with this palette. You have, I mean, these are definitely the standout colors. So these are the ones that we're going to concentrate on. The blue, the red. This red is so beautiful. And they swatched out really nice. I have learned you can't tell everything from a swatch, but they swatched out really nice. By the way, have not seen any reviews on this palette. I have not been watching as much YouTube as I normally do because I am working on something else, and I have a pretty big announcement coming in April as far as the channel goes. But yeah, okay. Anyway, stay tuned for that. Yeah, these shades up top, they didn't swatch out the best, but they're definitely not the standout shades. Anyway, yeah, we're going to go ahead. So we have 2 matte glitters in Carried Away and Far Away. So usually I do 2 different looks so I can get all the shades tested. But to be honest with you, like, I think what I'm going to do is concentrate like on these Snow White colors. And I'm going to do the same look on both eyes. I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know, guys. We'll think of something. We'll think of something no matter what. Doesn't have a mirror. So yeah, we're going to use our magic mirror. And we're going to go ahead and start with Such Grace as our transition shade. And then we'll deepen it up with Someday. And that's this one. And then after we do that, I am going to attempt to maybe put in the lands in like the outer corner, and then use all 3 of these shimmers, these 3, and put maybe either Super Shock or Spellbreaker in the inner corner. I mean, Ever After or Spellbreaker. Guys, I have no idea how the hell this is going to look. Probably Spellbreaker, because that's the white shade and this is Snow White. I have no idea what the hell this is going to turn out like, but let's go ahead. Let's go for it. I'm getting creative today, which is probably, I don't know, man. That could be a good or a bad thing. Let's go ahead and start. Like I said, we're going to start with Such Grace, this shade right here, as a transition shade. I need my eyebrows done so bad. Whenever I like, it becomes apparent when I do my eyeshadow, because I can see it. Usually I don't really pay attention. All right, so on me you can't see the shade all too well, and I suspect with a smile you wouldn't see it all. So anyway, it's just a transition shade. Formula is a little bit powdery on this one, but it's there. All right, so it's the story of Snow White, a little bit FYI. I believe it came out in 1937, the Disney film, and I'm pretty sure it was Disney's first full animation motion picture. I think that's true. Yeah, I think it was a first for Disney. But of course, Disney did not write it. It was a Grimm fairy tale. And as you know, the Grimm fairy tales are quite often different than the Disney version. So the original fairy tale, when something like this came out in the 1800s, the Grimm fairy tales, they were much darker than the version that you see in Disney. Okay, so that's our transition shade. We're going to go ahead with Someday. She sings a famous song, Someday My Prince Will Come. Maybe I should sing that. They say if you put it out there. Okay, so Snow White, of course, is a princess, but as so many Disney princesses, she has an evil stepmother. Her mother dies, although I'm not sure in all the versions. I think in one of the versions it was her mother who was like the evil one, but in most of the versions it's the stepmother. So we'll just say it's her stepmother. Oh my god, that shade's so pretty. That's Someday. That shade is so pretty. Okay, so of course Snow White's mother dies. Her father remarries. He remarries the evil queen, who becomes Snow White's stepmother. And every day she has a mirror, which is where they get the magic mirror. And every day she asks herself, is she still the most beautiful woman in the land? And every day the mirror says, yes, you are. But then one day, Snow White, you know, she's getting older. She's starting to catch up with her. And one day the mirror says, no, you are not the most beautiful in the land. Snow White is. So, of course, the queen, who's very insecure, gets all mad, and she decides, I mean, she gets freaking pissed. She decides she's going to have Snow White killed. So she hires, I believe it's like a hunter or something, and she wants him to kill Snow White. And as proof, bring back her heart. And her plan is that she'll eat it and she'll become immortal. Somehow she's going to become immortal. Is she going to become immortal, or she's going to become, or she might become beautiful like Snow White. It's something like that, but she's planning on eating it. So the huntsman takes Snow White out into the woods, but he can't kill her because he feels really bad for her. So instead, we're going to do in the land. We're going to put that in the outer corner. So instead, he actually tells Snow White what's happening. So what's happening with her stepmother, and Snow White is like pissed. So she, you know, she's begging the huntsman not to do it, and the huntsman decides he's not going to. This shade goes on very, very similar to Someday. In the Land looks very similar to Someday. It's a little darker. It's still really pretty. Definitely not as deep as it looks in the pan. So instead he brings the queen, he tells the queen that he did it, and he brings her a boar's heart. So she eats the boar's heart, but of course she doesn't become beautiful because she didn't eat Snow White's heart. And Snow White, she runs away and she breaks into this house. She breaks into this house and she starts just making herself at home. And it's actually the house of the 7 dwarfs, but they're at work. They all have jobs. So when they come home, they find Snow White and they're, you know, obviously a little bit angry. Who wouldn't be? They're a little bit mad, but Snow White, like, she tells them what happens, and they, you know, they pity her, so they let her stay, and she kind of becomes, like, their caretaker. Like, she cooks for them, she cleans for them, and they let her stay in their house, and everyone is happy until the freaking mirror gives Snow White up. And the stepmother asks the mirror, I don't know why all of a sudden the mirror decides to tell him Snow White, but all of a sudden he decides to tell him Snow White, and he says, she is still the fairest. You're not. Snow White is. And not only does he tell her that, you know, she's still alive, he gives her up and he tells her where she's living. Mirror. What the hell? What the hell, mirror? Why'd you do that? Anyway, he gives her up. He tells her where she's living, that she's living with the 7 dwarfs. And the 7 dwarfs, they're, like, smart. Okay, so how am I going to do this? I want to try these 3 shades, but I don't know which one I'm going to put down first. I guess I'll put down, like, the lighter one. So we'll start with True Love, and then we'll go red to blue. Guys, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, but you already know that. So, ooh, oh my god, that shade is so pretty. That is beautiful. That's that gold shade. What is this called? That is True Love. Do you see how beautiful that is? Really nice. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And then we're gonna go into Charmed and Just One Kiss, which is the blue shade. There is some fallout and it went under my eye, guys. Just ignore that. Just ignore that, okay? So the dwarfs, they're really smart, and they're always, I'm gonna try it with a brush this time, maybe that'll help. They're really smart, and they're always telling her, like, not to answer the door, not to, like, talk to strangers, not to, like, you know, just be really careful. So when the queen finds out, she goes to the dwarf's house, because of course the freaking mirror gave her up. So she goes to the dwarf's house, and Snow White answers the door. And in the Grimm story, it's not just an apple. She tries to give her this pretty too. That's that red shade. So just use it with the finger and see what happens. It's definitely more pronounced with the finger. Look how beautiful that is. That is so pretty. So I believe first she goes to the house with some kind of clothes, and they're like poisonous clothes, and Snow White puts them on, but when she takes them off, the dwarves are able to save her. Then she tries it with a comb, like a hair comb, but again, when she takes the hair comb out of her hair, the dwarfs are able to save her. But then finally she shows up with a freaking apple that's poison, and the dwarfs are not able to save her because she eats it. So they're really upset, and they mourn her, and they put her in like a glass casket, and somehow the prince, the story differs from the Disney version. Like, I believe the huntsman or the dwarf, somebody tells the prince the true story, that she was really royalty. And when the prince finds out, I don't know where this prince comes from, he's like another prince. So when he finds out, he actually takes her to give her like a proper burial in the castle. But this is where the story gets freaking weird, okay? She, like, the guy driving the carriage like hits something and it makes her like throw up the apple, so she comes like back to life. So like in the Grimm fairy tale, it's not the prince that like kisses her and like wakes her up or anything like that. It's she like throws up the apple because he hit like a bump in the road, and then she like comes back to life, and instead of like being totally freaked out, the prince is like really happy and they fall in love and they get married. And then of course the queen looks back in the mirror, and again the mirror says no, she's still alive and she married a prince. So no, that's not true. The mirror says there's a princess that's prettier than you. So Queen again gets bent out of shape, and she goes to the wedding to see who this princess is, and she realizes it's Snow White. And then like her and Snow White obviously have it out, and Snow White tells the prince what happens, and the prince makes the queen wear like these really like hot shoes, like these scalding red hot shoes, and she has to dance in them until she dies. What a way to go. I don't think Disney, I'm pretty sure Disney wrote that part out of the story. But in any case, guys, that was the real story of Snow White. So it did differ a little bit from the Disney version. But so I'm going to go ahead with Just One Kiss. This is that blue shade. This one is the one I'm totally excited about. Is it patchy? It's a little bit patchy with the finger. A little bit. Let me try it with a brush. I definitely have like more control with the brush. But the blue shade is just a little difficult to work with. Now you have to remember, I'm not the best. I am a beginner. So some people may not find that, but I find it a little bit difficult to work with. If you are very good with makeup, you may not. If you are someone like me who, you know, just kind of uses it when they use it, and it kind of, like, when you blend it, it kind of doesn't stay. Let's try a little more. Okay, so if you pack it on, I'm actually going to go under the eye with the blue shade too. Only because, actually, no, I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to clean it up in a second. But if you pack on the blue shade, then it is pretty. It is really, really pretty. For me, it's a little difficult to work with. It probably is a lot easier if you're not trying to blend all the shades together and you're like just gonna use it like a one kind of thing. But since I have decided that I am going to blend all the shades together, it's a little difficult. So I'm gonna blend them out and I'm gonna clean up under the eye. And I think I'm going to add a little bit more of the red and then a little bit more of the golds like coming down. I think that's what I'm going to do. So the colors, I find that they're actually much easier to use with a brush unless you're gonna go like all over the lid with one of the colors. Then I would definitely use a brush as opposed to your finger. Like, I think it just gives you like better control. I'm gonna go under far away with that black shade. I'm just gonna go like on the under eye a little bit. All in all, guys, I really like this palette. I think it's so, so, so pretty. I love Snow White. You could do some neutral looks. I tried to mix all the colors together. But obviously you don't have to do that. That's a really, really, really pretty black. That's a really, really pretty black, but it is a matte glitter. I think this palette is so, so cute. The blue is the only thing. The blue is a little patchy. You have to work with it a little bit, and it doesn't blend that great. But and you do have to kind of pack it on. But once you get there, it's really, really pretty. I think if you were just going to use like this gold shade, I didn't use my prints, but that looks really pretty. I didn't use the Super Shocks, but they swatched really nice. They look beautiful. But you're probably not buying this palette for these colors. I mean, if you wanted a neutral palette, you could get a neutral palette. You're probably buying this palette for the Snow White colors. This red, this one, Charmed, is everything. This color is so pretty. It goes on so beautiful. It goes on better a little bit with the brush, and it blends so nicely. And it kind of reminds me, I don't know if I'm going crazy, but it reminds me a little bit of that Bridgerton Pat McGrath palette. Those like kind of red shades. They blended really, really nice. This one, it blends really nice. It's kind of like a red pink. It's more towards a red than those Pat McGrath shades. They were more like a pink, but it's so, so lovely. I absolutely love it. I think this palette, I think it's really pretty. And this one too, this one, Someday is a really, really gorgeous peachy matte shade. So yeah, I'm actually really quite pleased with this palette. Yeah, especially if you're going to go by the shades one by one and trying to blend them all together. I think you might have better luck, and you do get a Super Shock with it. So what's wrong with that? I think palette is really, really beautiful. Give it another point if you are a Disney fan, or if you love Snow White, or if you're into like collections, because packaging is gorgeous. Formula is a really pretty good Colourpop formula. I don't think you'll be disappointed in this one. Let's go ahead and try the blush. I have such a hard time getting makeup boxes open. I don't know if it's just me or what, but I really do. Okay, so Super Shock, really, really, really cute packaging. Oh, I love how Super Shocks feel. There it is. Look how pretty. Oh my god, it's beautiful. You can't really see it. Can you see it with the light? I don't know. It's so freaking gorgeous. Did you Super Shock with the finger and then blends it out? Yeah, right? Oh my god. That is so, so pretty. And you don't need... Oh, wow. That is some beautiful blush. I'm not even going to do the highlighter because, yeah, you don't need it. I think the highlighter will be too much. I'll try the highlighter, but, oh, wow. Blush is incredible. It is so, so pretty. I love it. The blush, guys, yes. The blush is a big yes. Definitely. I love Super Shock highlighters, so I'm sure I'm going to like this one. I'll just go ahead and swatch it out since I think I have enough. I don't think you need a highlighter with this Super Shock blush, especially this one. They're very, very, very shimmery. Woo! Okay, see? That's the Super Shock highlighter in, I guess it's, what was it called? Jubilant Chorus. But it doesn't have the same, it's pretty, but what the hell? I definitely like the blush better. Blush is so freaking pretty. Really gorgeous. Okay, so you can kind of see the highlight, but the blush is like, the blush is everything. It's kind of hard to see with that blush because that blush is so freaking pretty. It definitely steals the show. Yeah, okay. Let me go ahead and finish up my look real quick and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I didn't get any of the lip products, so I just threw in a little bit of the Colourpop Glowing Lip in Indulge Me. I really, really, really like these. And I did use some mascara from Milani, the highly rated mascara. Is this the highly rated mascara? It says highly rated, but I thought it came in a different packaging. So I sort of made up with Milani. I was having like a kind of a fight with them because I had an order that they never sent me and they weren't refunding my money or sending me the order, but they did finally refund me the money, but they kind of gave me like a snotty answer. Like, well, you probably was still, this was a package that I ordered back around Christmas, and they were like, well, you'll probably still receive it. So when you receive it, we'll give you a prepaid label to send it back. Okay, Milani, I am not trying to keep your makeup. But anyway, they did refund the money, so we're using Milani again on this channel, even though I thought it was a snotty remark to make, but I'm letting it go. Might mention it one more time when if I ever try any more of their products, but for now, we're letting it go. And guys, Colourpop, this collection, yes, I think it's really, really beautiful. I think I should have birds playing in the background. There they go. There we go. Palette. Yeah. Palette's really, really, really nice. Like I said, I did, I think I already gave my thoughts. Love the packaging. Love the color story. Formula is very, very, you know, it's Colourpop's formula. Not all palettes have that really, really great Colourpop formula. This one, I do feel, does. You get a super shock. You get a point for the nostalgia of it if you like Snow White, if you like Disney. It's just really, really, really beautiful. $22. I think it's worth the money. I think the blush is exquisite. I think the blush is absolutely beautiful. I think I like the blush better than the palette. Really, really nice. I think a little probably goes a long way. I probably used a little too much, but whatever. I think it's lovely. I think it's a really, really nice collection. Like I said, I didn't try the lip products. Oh, and the mirror. Don't forget your magic mirror. This is something I could really use. I love these like little mirrors that you pick up and carry around with you, especially when I do my YouTube channel. So yeah, you'll definitely see this come out again. And yeah, guys, that is all from the collection. Did you pick it up? Are you planning on picking it up? Do you like when Colourpop does their Disney collaborations? What do you think of the whole thing? You like Snow White? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you like the video, I hope you will give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. We talk about it all in the attic. If there's ever anything you want me to talk about, make sure you let me know in the comments down below. And follow me over at Kimmie Teresa on Instagram. And if there's something I can talk about, I absolutely will. Stay tuned for my announcement in April. I know you can't wait. Guys, thank you for joining me. And as always, please take good care of yourself so you can take care of someone else. And I will see you next time right up here in the attic. Bye-bye, guys.